The food web, however, is not the strangest place microplastics could end up in. A recent study conducted by researchers at the University of Strathclyde and the University of Toulouse's Observatoire have found possible traces of plastic in sea spray. The findings argue with current plastic pollutant reports, which assume that once plastics have entered the ocean, they stay there within its currents and sediments where its life cycle continues, wherever the waves take them. The researchers, however, suggest that some plastic particles could enter the atmosphere via a combination of wave action and a bubble burst ejection, leading to plastic in our salty ocean breezes.
So you're on the rocks and you're watching the ocean crashing against the rocks, and there's sea spray splashing up. That contains microplastic now.
As a researcher and independent scholar, Dr. Teal Phelps-Bondaroff has studied numerous conservation issues, including marine plastic pollution and microplastics.
So the plastic doesn't go away, it gets smaller and smaller until it can actually be aerosolized as sea spray.
EarthDay.org say that every day approximately 8 million pieces of plastic pollution find their way into our oceans. Of those, 236,000 tons are microplastics.
A larger piece of plastic will enter the marine environment, and it will be broken down into smaller pieces through a variety of factors. Plastic will go from, say, a plastic bottle, and it will slowly break down to smaller and smaller pieces. And the reason why this is concerning is, first of all, because it's easier to pick up a bottle out of the water than it is to, say, pick up tiny plankton-sized chunks of plastic. But also, when plastic is smaller, it's easier for it to enter the food web. So it can be ingested by smaller and smaller creatures, in which case it bioaccumulates into species further up the food web, and then, of course, magnifies the problems.
The issue of microplastics, however, does not just stop at appearing in sea spray.
On March 5th, Zootaxa reported that they found a new crustacean species, and it was identified 20,000 feet down in the Marianas Trench. And they actually named it Eurythanes plasticus because they found PET in its stomach. So we're naming deep-sea benthic creatures after plastic that we find inside of them, which is horrifying.
According to BBC Earth, an estimated 180 species of marine animals have been documented consuming plastic, from mammals to invertebrates, raising to question the urgency of the matter.
So, you have sea spray containing plastic, you have deep-sea sea creatures containing plastic. Scientists are getting desperate when they're naming deep-sea creatures after, the plastic they find in them. And so back to the face mask issue, when face masks containing polypropylene and other plastics enter the marine environment, they don't go away, they just continue, like other forms of marine plastic, to kill animals in a wide variety of ways and destroy marine habitat. Times are tough, and there's an urgent conservation need, and that's reflected in some of the work that's being done.